By the way, I just recorded some Roblox gameplay. I'm sure you're probably sick of Overwatch gameplay, so watch this Roblox gameplay while I yap on a bit. I went from being one of the worst Overwatch support players of literally all time to actually managing to hit a pretty damn high rank, which is Champion 4. And I know it's not the highest rank in the world, I'm definitely not the best player in the world, but I've had one of the greatest transformations of all time, which is something that I really want to stress, and I think you can learn a lot from this video if you were in that sort of position and you want to, let's say, glow up on support and basically hit a really new high rank. So this video is 10 out of 10, specifically targeted for support players that have like quite a bit of free time in order to play Overwatch, and it's a hobby that they are really willing to take seriously and they're really willing to put in a lot of time in order to improve. So I came out with this video idea because I was watching a like really long form video from Hardy, where he's basically doing like a seminar for tank players. I'm not really a tank player, but I think Hardy's an interesting guy and he has some interesting points. But I noticed he kind of stuttered when he said, when someone asked him, what is the ideal routine if all you could do is play Overwatch and improve? And he just stuttered because he couldn't really come up with an answer. And when he said his routine in order to improve at Overwatch, I was a bit like, this could definitely use some improvements if you really want to maximize your time and you really want to put Overwatch at the forefront of your goals. So obviously, if you're employed, then definitely put your job and your family and your kids first, or your partner first, right? I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling you to quit your job to play Overwatch, gaming for home, right? But I think Overwatch can be a really fun opportunity to express yourself in some form of way where you want to hit like a really really high rank because it's a personal hobby that you really really enjoy, and you click this video, so you're probably in that camp of people who really really enjoy the game and you want to know what you can do in order to maximize your results in a time period. And it's not necessarily about the shortest time period you can use in terms of like your Overwatch improvement. So I'm not going to give you the bullshit where you can play 4 hours a week and improve. You are going to need to put in like a few hours a day, I'm not going to lie. But if you do what I say in this video and you sort of sequence your life in order to put Overwatch as the most important like hobby that you have, you're going to see some pretty rapid improvements in your support gameplay. And this applies to tank mains, DPS mains, basically any main of Overwatch. It doesn't matter what hero you play. But I specifically help support players, and that's sort of where my specialty is. And it's sort of what I'm going to lead with in the examples in today's video. So yeah, if you are a tank or DPS player watching this though, this information can absolutely apply to you as well. I just wanted to emphasize the degree and speed of my transformation. So I was like pretty casual on Overwatch for a few years, right? I didn't really play the game that much. I might have played some Minecraft here and there. Overwatch was my main game that I would like come back to and I would play, but I had like other goals that I was pretty into, such as the gym, for example. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I didn't actually improve at a very fast rate. Now, I'm not telling you to be unhealthy and not go to the gym and not live your life like a normal human being. Like do the regular things like go outside, go for walks, hang out with your family, stuff like that. Being a basement dweller and putting all of your emphasis on Overwatch is actually a bad thing, in my opinion, because, well, you actually will go mentally insane. Because I've had periods of my life where all I do is like play Overwatch 10 hours a day. I pretty much do go insane. Like, I actually hate my life to a very large degree. So I'm definitely not telling you to pretty much give up all of your hobbies. But it's best to think about putting the other stuff on maintenance while you prioritize ranking up on Overwatch. So what does putting other stuff on maintenance actually mean? Because that means that we're not really making any progress in those goals, right? And might be a bit panicked because you're going, oh, I actually can't make any progress in the gym, or I'm not going to be able to... What other hobbies do people do these days that are kind of productive? Going to the gym is one of them. Trying to like get a girlfriend is one of them. I know I've like tried to get a girlfriend. That actually destroyed my progress in Overwatch because I thought about my crippling loneliness and my inability to probably ever get a girlfriend, to be honest. But that's besides the point. I actually lost what I was gonna say. Sorry. Yes, we're thinking about maintenance, right? Sorry about the depressive run. So we're going to put the other things on hold and we're going to prioritize Overwatch as our number one thing. So we're going to sequence it in our day as the most important thing that we basically do. And you might be panicking because you sort of want to make progress in other things. Or you're kind of like watching videos on looks maxing, or you're going to the gym and you're watching Jeff Nippard videos on how to grow more aesthetic shoulders, or you might be a support main watching this, so, and you might be a woman, so maybe you're trying to grow big glutes. Hit me up if you do. What is wrong with it? I'm really sorry. That's besides the point. But you're probably not actually making that much progress towards any of your goals when you have a lot of them, right? So if you actually set aside the other ones, put them on maintenance. So for example, if you're going to the gym, then only do it twice a week. That's literally what I do, because my main goal isn't Overwatch at the moment. It's building this YouTube channel and building this brand. And once you actually think about less things, then you make more progress to one thing. So if you have more thoughts about Overwatch during the day because you're not thinking about other bullshit, then you start to get like random ideas. Oh, what can I do here? Oh, I actually could have outplayed this hazard by using my triple jump in this specific situation. Random shit like that, where you actually like think about it more and more and more. When you're literally taking a fat shit on the toilet, right? That is very graphic. I'm sorry if like you're eating right now and you just heard that. But if you're like on the toilet, right, and you're thinking about Overwatch and you're thinking about this fight plan, that means that when you apply that to your next session, you're going to be thinking, oh yeah, I could have actually improved this in this specific way. And the thing is, when we have a lot of goals, we don't really make a lot of progress towards any of them. So at the moment, you're probably living this very balanced lifestyle where you go to the gym, you hang out with your girlfriend. If you have like a girlfriend or boyfriend, don't break up with them, by the way, to play more Overwatch. That's not what I'm telling you to do, because Overwatch is a hobby at the end of the day. It's not as serious as, let's say, making money. Although if you're trying to make money, then you probably shouldn't break up with your partner in the first place, because your partner should be beneficial towards that and they actually keep you sane. But I'm sort of like yapping about everything here, to be honest. It's a bit of a random video, but I think the important point that I'm getting at is to prioritize one goal, one big goal that you can achieve outside of your important duties. So instead of like thinking a lot about the gym or thinking about golf, for example, redirect those thoughts to Overwatch. So forget about those. Think about Overwatch. Think about Overwatch. Think about Overwatch. Think. Live Overwatch, right? I want you to, when you're bored and you have a bit of free time and you don't have anything to do with your studies or your work, right? Watch like one of my videos on Overwatch, or I really like Spylo as well. He's really goated. Specifically, look at Spylo reviews though, not his main channel, because those are sort of more entertainment videos, and we're specifically focusing on educational videos. I'm going to bring this back to the daily routine that we need to be undergoing though. So now that we've established that we need to be thinking about Overwatch more, and we actually need to be setting aside other goals and putting them at maintenance in order to make progress on this one specific thing, what should we do when we break up? Sorry, not break up, wake up, alright? What should we do as soon as we wake up, depending on your specific schedule? So I'm going to give 2 examples of the schedule based on your individual routine. Right? Because you might be at university, school, work, or you might be an unemployed child like me at the moment, or you might have weekends off, right? So yeah, I'm going to give you 2 examples of a specific routine that you can undergo depending on your specific life situation. So first of all, the unemployed child routine like me. So basically you've got all hours during the day to basically do whatever you want and you're free. Right, this might happen on the weekends where you just have like a few days off in the week where you just want to grind. So what are we actually going to do with those hours in order to maximize our time of actually improving at Overwatch and getting closer to this goal of presumably hitting champion, or if you're like in diamond, then doing very slow increments in order to improve. So basically what we want to do as soon as we wake up is, if you're like me and you're not like a weird person who wakes up like really early and you actually want to eat something, then eat something very quick. Go. Grab breakfast as soon as you possibly can. Do your like skincare routine. I just use a sunscreen personally in the morning to but I don't believe in like morning skincare routines that much. Just sunscreen, go. Go outside for a bit, before putting on the sunscreen, which is very good for your health. Apparently, I don't know. Ask like Andrew Huberman or some shit. We're talking about Overwatch here, so I'll redirect it to that. We get like our morning routine done very quickly, and then as soon as we possibly can, we just start playing Overwatch ASAP, ASAP, ASAP. And that's because we wake up with a limited amount of brain points. What brain points are is the amount of like thoughts we have during the day, and we can only have so many thoughts, right? We just wanted to redirect as many of them to Overwatch as possible, and the longer we wait to play Overwatch is the more dumb our brain is and the worse we are actually going to play. So we just go quickly as humanly possible once we've done our morning routine and we just start playing Overwatch. And what are we going to do during this routine? What I would recommend is playing a quick warm-up game, just quick play, and then honestly just going into ranked as soon as you possibly can. I'm not really a big believer in like Vaxter, like aim training codes or aim training, to be honest. I think we just get in and try and grind the game as much as we humanly can, and we're not really going to achieve that through doing these like elaborate aim routines. We can do that later during the day if your heart so desires, but I honestly think the ROI, return on investment, in those sort of activities is massively overrated. I've done aim training before and it's okay, but I just like find it boring as fuck personally, and you probably find it the same as well. So yeah. Once we get into our ranked games, how exactly are we going to do it? Are we just going to mindlessly play ranked? Well, obviously not, because intention is one of the most important things that we can do in life. It's one of the most important things we can do for improvement, because we actively need to think about what we are improving on. So you need to sort of analyze your gameplay and realize what you're doing wrong. So what I did for myself when I was playing Juno is I analyzed I personally got a VOD review from Spilo. That was really, really helpful. And it sort of gave me a very good analysis of what my strengths and weaknesses were. You could do the same with me if you click the link in my description and work with me. But that's besides the point. Back to the ranked games. So we're going to break down one specific aspect of our gameplay that we know we need to be improving on. And we are actually educated on what we need to improve on because we're watching a bunch of long form videos. We're seeing what the pros are doing right, so we're watching OBS Sojourn. If you don't know who OBS Sojourn is, I'll link the channel in the description. I'll have to remember to do this. If I don't remember to do this, then please comment. But OBS Sojourn does like pro perspectives, and you can have a look at that and sort of analyze, see what the pros are doing, what they do right and wrong, and sort of like see the things that they implement into their gameplay, angle-wise, mechanics-wise, that you could also do in your gameplay. For me, I sort of looked at the way people use speed ring and the difference between a predictive and a reactive speed ring. And we always want to be using it reactively, so tying it directly to action. So that's one aspect of my gameplay that I would hyper focus on. And then the next game, I would completely forget about speed ring, and all I would do is think about off angle presence. So am I helping my DPS take aggressive off angles? Are they being intelligent? Am I being intelligent more so because I'm a bit of an idiot, no offense. DPS players tend to be a lot more intelligent than support players on average. You're probably a support player and you're watching this going, that's not true. Yeah, support players are a bit idiotic, I'm not gonna lie, especially when it comes to off angling. The reason why heroes like Iari and Lifeweaver have like relatively high win rates, even though they're not that insane in a vacuum compared to like Brig and Lucio, is because literally no support players take angles, so you might as well just be doing chip damage over time, and those heroes are good at that. But that's a bit of a side point. Taking off angle, bloody good off angles, and help your DPS on support is like one of the most important things that we could be focusing on, and that's something you need to be having a thought process on in game. What are my DPS doing? How can I sort of support them in this specific situation? That's another thing you can focus on. You can also focus on your mechanics. This is not really something that I did too much, and I think that mechanics are a bit overrated personally. It's something that I'm going to make a video on. It's like why mechanics probably aren't as important as you think they are. But they definitely do have an impact. And sometimes you just need to focus on trigger discipline. So not firing every single second and actually waiting until your crosshair is on a target. That's an important thing that you can literally focus an entire rank game on. And it might seem like you're throwing if you're just focusing on one thing in your rank game. But the thing is, no other player in that lobby is going to be focusing on one thing because no one else actually practices Overwatch. Even in like Grandmaster, Champion, heck, even like High Champ lobbies, a lot of it is just freaking autopilot, man. And you will get a massive leg up and improve rapidly if you actually focus on one specific thing at a time. Because you get massively overwhelmed if you try and focus on a few things. Just focusing on like one thing. Actually, no, not one or two things. This is non-negotiable. You're going to analyze what you can be doing better. So watching educational videos, watching OBS Surgeon Pro Perspectives, watching Spider Reviews, watching my channel. My channel is the best, by the way, if you're a support player, trying to rank up. Definitely subscribe if you want my help. Yeah, very humble of me, I know. So what we're going to do is basically do this for a few hours. So let's say we wake up at 9 and we start playing at 9:30. We can go until 12, 1, and we just go at this. We improve our weaknesses. We sort of watch our games back. We sort of see what we can do and be doing better. I don't think like self-VOD review is that essential, like that often, to be honest. I just like watch your perspective back like once a week. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Plus, it's quite boring. Like, you probably just want to play the game more. And I think if you're having fun, then you're actually going to improve faster. So, yeah, don't worry about self-VOD review too much. And, like, this practice routine isn't particularly fancy, to be honest. It's just, like, play the game a lot, focus on a specific thing. And then when you're done and you actually don't want to play anymore, but you still, like, sort of want to be in Overwatch, maybe you, like, watch streams sometimes. Maybe you watch some, like, flats or apply slop. No offense to those YouTubers. I think that like they make okay content. A lot of it is just not like educational though, and you're not really going to take anything and learn from it. So instead of doing that, you can just watch educational videos. So mine, Spilo, but ideally without editing, right? We don't really want editing, so it sort of needs to be in the style where we just hear a guy yap for a while and they're just like VOD reviewing someone, where they're talking about stuff like this or they're specifically in game actually reviewing someone. We really don't want that editing stop because we don't want to be frying our attention spans. So we're not going to watch like Apply, we're not going to watch Awkward. Well, Awkward does have some like unedited videos, although I don't really like Awkward that much personally. But we're just going to watch long form educational videos. And not only are you going to improve your Overwatch doing this, but you're also gonna get a better attention span. So it's a freaking win-win, man. Like, why would you not do this, you know? Stop watching like brain rot Instagram reels on Overwatch, you know? Stop watching brain rot streams. Just switch your mindset to I actually want to improve, so I'm gonna start watching serious content and start taking myself seriously. Now that we have the unemployed chud version of the routine, which is basically just play Overwatch for a really long period of time, we can just condense this into a the actually employed person routine, right? So once we get home from, let's say, work, school, something like that, or university, what I would do is just get on Overwatch as soon as you possibly can. Just get on, and just play for a few hours as much as you possibly can. Because if you try and get on late, then a lot of the time I found that you really don't have the energy to do this. So we just want to be rapid and just do this as quickly as we possibly can. So we're not gonna go to our bed after school to goon for a bit like I used to. I don't know why I just admitted that on video, but yeah, we're just gonna go straight into the activity that we actually want to improve on, which is Overwatch, and we're just gonna be rapid, and we're gonna do the exact same things that we that I said earlier to do for the unemployed person. If you skip forward to this version, then you probably need to watch the rest. Sorry, I didn't make this very cohesive. And this video has been just like a lot of yap, to be honest. But the main things that I want to conclude in this video is just basically think about Overwatch as your primary goal. Start watching educational videos instead of entertainment videos, so I'll link some below, as well as myself, because I'm absolutely gorgeous. Play for a few hours every day, and this is like a non-negotiable. We really need to be playing a lot, and these hours need to be like deliberately focused, so we're not like fucking scrolling on our phone, watching like Domina. I don't know what you guys are watching these days in terms of like, yeah, we're not watching like weird stuff. We're just like focusing on Overwatch in the moment, and we're not really worrying about anything else. Oh, is this girl messaging me? Don't give a shit. I want to hit this goal of hitting champ on Overwatch. Fuck you, right? Also, a quick thing that I wanted to mention before I wrap up this video, and it's going to be like a very quick point that I wanted to make, is to stop like watching meta tier lists and stop worrying about what is optimal or what is meta. I one-tricked Juno to Champ 4 when she had a 47% win rate, and literally every support in the game has a higher win rate than that. So honestly, don't worry about it, and you're only going to follow this routine if you're intrinsically motivated to do it, because you actually fall in love with the actions themselves. So actually pick a hero that you enjoy. God forbid you enjoy like Life Weaver or Mercy. That's actually okay. Just play that hero, because that actually matters way more than playing the perfect hero. So if you play Kiriko for 30 minutes a day and you can't stand it, then that's actually way worse practice than playing Mercy for 3 hours a day and actually seeing the steady rank improvements. So fall in love with the process itself instead of worrying about what the meta is, and you will see improvements, trust me. Love you for watching this far. If you want to get coached by me one-on-one, you can click the link in the description and check out my program. I hope you have an amazing day. Congratulations to you for watching this far, by the way. Not many people have watched this far on an educational yapping video. So really good job for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.